Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking open the files on what is easily the ultimate archaeological cold case, Machu Picchu. We're talking about a massive, advanced civilization that somehow achieved the literal impossible only to completely abandon their greatest masterpiece. So, how did they do it? And more importantly, why did they leave? Let's get into it. Alright, I want you to just pause for a second and picture this. Imagine discovering an entire city hidden way up high above the clouds. It's a staggering, monumental place, totally surrounded by towering, just unforgiving mountain peaks. And the most incredible part, it was built with zero modern machines. Absolutely none. Every single stone, every wall, every terrace was placed there through sheer, raw human determination. Hundreds of workers had to physically drag multi-ton stones up these jagged, steep cliffs using nothing but ropes and pure muscle. But, here's where the story goes from just being impressive to, kind of unbelievable. This massive, sprawling architectural marvel didn't just sit there for everyone to admire. It vanished, completely disappeared from global awareness. It actually remained entirely hidden from the outside world for nearly 400 years. Think about that for a second. How does a massive, bustling city just disappear? How does a sprawling empire misplace its absolute masterpiece? Section 1. The Builders. The Empire Without Words. So, let's rewind a bit. Over 500 years ago, the Inca Empire was an absolute powerhouse. They ruled over a huge chunk of western South America, and at their peak in the 15th century, their territory stretched massively across what is today Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, and Colombia. They were brilliant engineers, churning out thousands of miles of roads and these massive stone cities. Yet they had no written language. None. Zero. Instead of books, they used something called quipu. These were intricate, colorful, knotted strings. And the crazy thing is, to this day, we still haven't fully decoded how to read them. That means our investigation into Machu Picchu relies entirely on the physical clues they left behind in the dirt and the stone. It's like trying to solve a giant puzzle with half the pieces missing. Moving on to Section 2. The Impossible Evidence. A City in the Clouds. Right around the year 1450, a super-powerful leader named Emperor Pachacuti ordered the construction of Machu Picchu, and he wanted it built at an elevation of 8,000 feet. Just to put that into perspective, that is high enough to cause altitude sickness for modern tourists who are just walking around snapping photos. The sheer logistics of simply feeding a massive workforce, let alone building a sprawling stone complex up there in that incredibly thin air, are absolutely staggering. And this brilliantly illustrates just how wild this engineering feat really is. Here is the true genius of the Incas. They built this marble without wheels, without iron tools, and get this, without mortar to glue the rocks together. Despite those massive limitations, they moved enormous stones, some weighing several tons, and cut each one so precisely that you literally cannot even slide a knife blade between them. And that mind-bending precision, it actually makes the entire city earthquake-proof. When tremors strike, the stones simply dance and move slightly with the earth, and then they just settle right back into their perfect places instead of collapsing. No mortar, no problem. But they didn't just conquer the earthquakes, they conquered the crazy climate too. The Incas built highly advanced drainage systems and functional agricultural terraces right into the steep sides of the mountain. Think about how easily our modern roads wash away in heavy rain today. Even now, modern engineers marvel at the remarkable skill it took to keep a steep mountain city from simply sliding off the cliff during a torrential storm. Section 3. The Missing Motive. Why was it built? Okay, let's dive into this. If you're going to go to the nearly impossible effort of building a massive stone complex at 8,000 feet without the wheel, you kinda need a spectacular reason, right? So, what was it? Was it built as a luxurious royal estate, basically a lavish vacation home for Emperor Pachacuti, albeit with a really killer commute? Or was it a highly sacred religious center, specifically used by priests for observing the stars and performing rituals? Was it maybe a strategic military lookout, taking advantage of that high vantage point? Or could it have been an elite university for the empire's best and brightest minds? Because we lack those written records, the true motive remains one of history's greatest, most fascinating debates. Section 4. The Cold Case, Lost and Found. So the Incas were absolutely thriving after construction began in 1450, but a dramatic, terrible historical shift was on the horizon. By the 1500s, ruthless Spanish conquistadors had invaded, conquered the capital city of Cusco, and basically destroyed much of the empire. But thanks to its incredibly remote, cloud-covered location and the dense jungle forests that eventually swallowed it up, Machu Picchu was completely spared. It sat there perfectly hidden from the outside world for centuries, right up until 1911, when an American explorer named Hiram Bingham was led up the mountain by a local 11-year-old boy. But that brings up the million-dollar question: why was the city totally empty when Bingham arrived? Did a devastating disease sweep through the population before the Spanish even got close? Or did sudden political chaos within the empire make maintaining this remote mountain city completely obsolete? Whatever the ultimate reason actually was, the original residents simply packed up, walked away, and left behind a silent ghost town. Now, obviously, local indigenous communities already knew about the ruins, but it was Bingham's expedition that finally brought this marvel to international attention. And what they found beneath that overgrown jungle was a breathtaking architectural time capsule. As they excavated, they revealed remarkably preserved temples, homes, fully working fountains, intricate staircases, and of course those vital agricultural terraces. Archaeologists very quickly realized they had just uncovered one of the greatest surviving examples of Inca architecture on the planet. Section 5. The Open Verdict. The Enduring Mystery. After a full century of intense excavation and research, you'd really think we'd have it all figured out by now, right? Well, we don't. Actually, the deeper we dig, the more questions we uncover. We still don't know exactly how the Incas transported such massive stones up those steep mountains without wheels. We still fiercely debate why this highly precarious location was chosen in the first place. We don't fully know what ceremonies actually took place inside its sacred temples, and we still don't know the exact trigger for its sudden abandonment. It feels like every single new discovery answers a couple of questions, only to create a dozen brand new ones. Ultimately, Machu Picchu is far, far more than just an ancient city. It is a towering symbol of human creativity, determination, and just raw engineering genius. Sitting way up high above the clouds, it continues to challenge historians and inspire travelers from literally every corner of the globe. So I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder today. What secrets do its silent stone walls continue to guard? Secrets that perhaps may never be fully revealed. I hope this explainer sparked your curiosity about the incredible lost civilizations of our past, and I absolutely can't wait to see you for our next adventure in learning.